Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important topic of Angular pipes, and we will discuss a new pipe, that is Async Pipe, ASYNC pipe. Okay, Async Pipe. So by the end of this session, we will be able to understand what is Async Pipe, why do we use it, how we can utilize it, its structure, syntax, everything. Okay. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to create a function, how to create an application with async pipe. Clear? Alright, so let's get started. The first thing that you need to do for utilizing the pipe is to import the module, right? So if you want to import the module, let's go to app.component.ts file. Here we have one section where we can import the modules. So here we need to import the common module. Okay, so this is the common module. Once you write it, it will automatically add this line. That means your common module is successfully imported. Now this common module is basically providing us all the basic directives as well as modules. So if you take your mouse cursor over here, you will see it exports all the basic directives and pipes such as ngif, ngfor, of decimal pipe, and so on. Okay, so basically we are going to use only the async pipe, so that is fine for now. Now to understand the requirement, let's go to app.component.html file. Here we can see we have got this heading, that is Angular 19 goes by Sharmit. We will add another heading here, h2, and after that we will write here the title of today's session, that is async, ASYNC pipe in Angular. Okay, async pipe in Angular. Async pipe in Angular. Now our requirement is that suppose you are fetching the data from a file. Okay, let me explain in a very simple way. You are fetching some data in, from a file, and that file will take some time to process the data and to return the output. Clear? We are talking about very large data. Okay, so if that file is taking so much time to process the data and providing the data, then meanwhile, like, how you will manage the state? Like, you have to show something to the user. If you are not showing something, it should reflect. Let's say if a file is processing, at that time we are showing nothing, right? But once data is processed, that at that time we want to show that data to the user. That is why we are populating it, right? So this is the technical term. Now if I explain you in a very layman terminology, so suppose there, we will take one example of a school. There is one school in which one class is going on, and suddenly school principal came into the class and asked the teacher to tell the exact count of the student present in the class. Okay, and we are assuming that attendance process is not done yet. Okay, so in that situation, what teacher will do, she or he will request a principal to wait for 2 minutes just for teacher to count the number of student, and then she or he will tell the numbers to the principal. Clear? But meanwhile she is counting something. We are not telling to something to principal, right? But let's say teacher is supposed to write the total count on the blackboard. So meanwhile she is counting, there is nothing on the blackboard. But once the counting is completed, she or he will write the count on the blackboard. Okay, so this thing we will manage technically with one example. So now I think scenario is clear. Now I'll show you the example, and it will give you the idea like how it is working. Okay, and what is the issue that is solved by using the async pipe. Clear? So let's go to app.component.ts file again. Module is imported. Now we will expand this class, and here in this class, firstly we will create one students array. Okay, so students array. For now let's store only 1, 10, 5, or maybe you can write simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the students which is present in the class. We are assuming it. Okay, it's not mandatory that you have to keep it in a sequence. You can keep it in any way, but in layman term you can relate it with the students present in the class. Maybe you can consider their roll number as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, fine. Now the next thing is after this, what we will do, we will calculate the total student. So for that, let's define the thing total students equal, here we will use promise. Okay, promise. So you can see here a callback used to initialize the promise. This callback is passed two argument, a resolve callback used to resolve the promise with the value of the result of another promise, and reject callback used to reject the promise with provided reason for an error. So basically it will help us to because we know that file will take some time, right? Or even if we talk about teachers scenario, so teacher will take some time while counting it. So to replicate that scenario, what we will do, we will set the timer to the response. It will not immediately provide you the answer, but it will take some time. Okay, now how we will use this promise? Here we will pass two arguments. So let me use double parenthesis. Inside this we will write first argument as resolve, second one is reject, and remember all these things are case sensitive, so make sure to write it in a same way. Then you have to write equal and this angular bracket, then expand this with double curly braces. Now we will set the time, so we will write here set timeout function, set timeout. Okay, and in this set timeout, like after this curly braces, we will, in this place you can put the time, whatever time you want to use. Let's say I want to use 4000 milliseconds. Okay, this is milliseconds, not seconds. So inside this set timeout, we will check if this dot students double AND operator for AND array dot is array, this dot students curly braces, then in that case we will show resolve. Okay, and in case of resolve we will show this dot student dot length. So basically we are calculating the length. Perfect. Now you can also put some comment if you want that this is a success case. In case of success, it will return the number of students. Perfect. Okay, now next thing what we are going to do, we are going to write here else, then we will write another curly braces pair, and then we will write here reject condition. So in case of reject, if something went wrong, so in that case we will write student list not found. In case of school, you can assume that there is no student or anything happened, so in that case, like we can say that something went wrong, or a student suddenly go out of the class, something like any scenario could be there. So here I will write failure scenario. So this is a comment for the failure, something went wrong. Okay, so this is the second scenario where something is not right or something is wrong. Clear? And we have already set the time. Now the good thing about this, let me show you. If I run this as it is without anything, and the serve -- open, enter, wait for a few seconds, and then it will show you the output, which is coming like this: async pipe and Angular. Okay, and Angular 19 goes by Sharmit. Now if you try to print the total student as it is, because still we don't know why we are using async pipe, right? So if you try to print the total students without async, I'm writing it with capital A, but make sure to use it in the same case as I'm using, because in heading we can use it like this, but not in the function, not as a pipe. Okay, so here I will write total students as it is. I'm not using any pipe, right? So you can see it shows object promise, but we were not expecting this thing, we were expecting some numbers, right? Now to get that thing, what we will do, we will use this async pipe. So I will write total students with async maybe we can write pipe also here so that others can assume it. Then we will put colon, and here we will write total students pipe async. Perfect. So this is ready. Now if you save it and refresh it, you can see For 4000 millisecond it shows nothing, but after that it shows 5. I'm not doing anything. If you refresh it, wait for 4000 milliseconds, and now 5. Okay, if you want to change the time, let's say if I want to make it as only 2000, so in that case you will see that after 2000 millisecond it shows the number. Refresh, wait for 2000 milliseconds, shows the number. Clear? So this is how it works. So I hope this entire session is clear to all of you, like how we use async pipe and how all these works. If you have any queries, questions, suggestions related to the session, please reach out to me through the comment section. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.